This is Monday morning, and we woke up to another crash, dip, drop, whatever you want to call it, in the stock market. And it was prompted by a number of issues. Number one, there are some people who believe we are in a recession. There is also the issue of Warren Buffett announced that he was selling one or had sold one half of his position in Apple, which says that Warren is not confident of what is going to happen in the future and that there will be a large pullback, and he wants money to be in a position to buy into that pullback. At least that's my interpretation. And then the issue that really concerned me, or not concerned me, but lit me up the most was that of Nvidia announcing through Taiwan Semiconductor that they had an issue with their new Blackwell chip, that there were some design flaws that needed to be corrected, and it would delay the introduction of the Blackwell chip for up to 3 months. This was not a concern to me because I've recognized there are issues as you expand the capabilities of these GPUs. In essence, if you're going to expand the capability of from the P100 to the Blackwell, you're going to have to put more compute power onto the same size of chip. Well, as you do that, you're going to generate more heat, and that heat is going to be generated through the use of more electricity. So that brings to the forefront two things that I have been aware of as I read that Modine has a separate division beyond their air conditioning of data centers, that they're going to submerge these servers and GPUs underwater or under some form of liquid, which just screams out to me they've got a real issue, and this Blackwell has just multiplied the issue, and they don't have it solved yet. So that brings to me in mind two areas of opportunity. When I see a problem, I then look to the other side of it and what is the opportunity. And I think the opportunity is in gallium nitrate and Photonics. And these are two companies that I hold now that I think will benefit from Jensen's problem. Let's talk a little bit about what is the problem. Again, it's heat and energy. What is gallium nitrate? Well, it's a combination, I believe, of copper and nitrogen to form a substance that transfers heat more effectively and by using less energy, and thus making the semiconductor, solving the semiconductor problem. Again, imagine the only way you're going to increase the power of a GPU is to put more transistors into the same amount of space. Well, as you put those more transistors and you push electricity through them, they create more heat. So you have to then take it beyond the silicone that was the best functioning wafer of the past, and you have to address the problem, and that will be done, I believe, through gallium nitrate. That then brings us to the name Navitas. Navitas is a stock that I've owned for a number of months. It's a very small company, but they own the patents to augment the silicone wafers with gallium nitrate to solve Jensen's problem. At least that's what I believe. So with that being said, then if there's a delay and there's an opportunity, I think it's in Navitas because they will solve Jensen's problem. And if you've watched my prior videos, I believe Jensen is the solution to many problems, including mine. How to grow my business, how to give me access to the compute that comes out of a GPU unit. And I've explained that I think that will be facilitated by, in my case, by advertising to more people. And that means I will go into partnerships with companies like Meta and Google, who have access to Jensen's GPUs, which will then grow Jensen's business. And so I'm directly connected that I need them to solve this heat problem. And I think Navitas is going to do it. Then the other element is photonics. And what I understand that is you're moving electricity through these semiconductors, through these transistors, and you're moving it through electricity. What photonics does is changes that from electricity to light. And it's basically a laser beam. By doing that, again, you reduce the amount of heat, you reduce the amount of required bandwidth, and it makes the semiconductor more efficient. So who is it then we look to and say, okay, who do we need to invest in who is active in photonics? And two names come from my research. One is Intel, and the other is Ayar Labs, Ayar. What they do is they create a chiplet, that's the word they use, that uses photonics, light, to move the energy through the semiconductor, thus producing less heat and requiring less power. Now, Intel is a leader in this field, and Intel definitely needs to be a leader in some field after what's happened over the last couple of weeks, but they are a major player. On the other hand, Ayar Labs, Ayar, is a private company and is not available for me to buy. So at this point, I will hold my position in Intel. And in Intel, I think offers other opportunities. Number one is it's building foundries here in the United States. I believe there are two that are being built outside of Columbus, Ohio, and one outside of Phoenix, Arizona. And right now, much as we learned from the announcement from Nvidia, that their producer of GPUs, which is Taiwan Semiconductor, located in Taiwan, 90 miles off the shore of China, we need that manufacturing capability here in the United States, if only as a national security issue. So I will continue to hold my position in Intel, and I'm happy to learn that they are very active in photonics and thus could help Jensen in solving his Blackwell problem. So that's the takeaway that I've gotten from the news that's beating the market up over the last day, although it seems to be recovering as we're approaching 11 a.m. here in Central Standard Time. So that's where I'm holding my positions. I believe Intel needs you to continue the growth of their business. They've been growing at 65, 85% the last 2 years. I don't expect that to continue, but I do expect it to continue to grow in excess of 20%, and I expect that to be true of Google and Meta as well. But in order to do that, in order for Google and Meta and Intel to maintain that growth, they have to sell more GPUs, which means that Meta and Google has to sell more advertising. Well, once you've maxed out your capabilities and your TAM, your total addressable market, you then need to find new buyers. So who are the new buyers of advertising? It's going to be me. It's going to be me being approached by Amazon, by Google and Meta, and saying, Kerry, we can run your business better than you can. All we need is to gain your data, access to your data, and we'll keep it private in a separate silo, and then we'll match that up with our data on our audience, and we'll make your advertising more efficient. I could see them coming and saying, how much, Kerry, do you need to spend $10,000 a month from us? And I would say, I need $30,000 in revenue to make that okay. We'll guarantee you. You spend 20, we'll give you 30. I believe they will be capable of doing that. They will just be the ones who will hunt and pick The small businesses who have a large potential to grow through effective marketing and advertising, and they will assign me an AI agent and we'll be off and running. And then once they do that for me and they have integrated gallium nitrate and they have integrated photonics, they'll do it for everybody. They'll make your house more efficient. They'll look at your grocery bill and say, you need to cut back here. You're buying too much paper. You're buying too much eggs, whatever. And this is how you can more effectively run your household. And they will do it for you for $1.99 a month. They have to do this in order to keep their businesses growing. They have to democratize compute. That's what separates me and Mark Zuckerberg. He has access to compute. And through that compute, he can reach 2 billion people a day through his apps. I don't have that, but I have a tremendous TAM, total addressable market. It's 66 million people who I can help make better investment decisions. I've created my algorithm. Google will be able to help me on that as well, to make it better, make it more accurate. It helped me find Navitas. It helped me find AYAR Labs. Now all I need is someone to deliver the message. And in order to deliver that message, I need Nvidia to solve their chip problem. It all comes around. And as an investor, if you can see the circle and you can understand the progress and you can see the future coming faster than most people think, you won't get hung up on the blood in the streets this week and next week probably, and the next couple of weeks. You'll be looking into the future and saying, that's where the future lies. It lies in GPUs, and Jensen needs to keep selling them and solve his problems of heat and energy. Okay, I'm Kerry Grinkmeyer. I'm a retired financial advisor. I'm building a community of individuals. As I said, there are 66 million of us who manage our own portfolios. And if we'll put our heads together and learn how to use artificial intelligence and learn how to read the charts and anticipate what's coming in the future, we can compete with Goldman Sachs. We can compete with Morgan Stanley. We can run this market. And Jensen and Mark and Google can help us. Let's talk more about this in the morning tomorrow. And let's also get together this Friday at our Stock Talk and see if you can't be a part of this. Come to Best of Us Investors, take advantage of our 14-day free trial, and see if this community doesn't work for you.